guys, and I always gotta say thank you for everything. But yeah. So let's get started for the first game that we have, and this is for Week 13. So Week 13, we got the Texans and the Jaguars. Texans at 23 points, Jaguars at 20. Passing yards, we got C.J. Stroud, 22 for 34, 244 yards with one touchdown. And we have Mac Jones, 20 for 32, 235 yards with two touchdowns. Rushing yards, Joe Mixon, 20 carries, 101 yards with one touchdown. Travis E.T. Jr. My bad, I had a phone call. Somebody was calling my phone. Travis E.T. Jr. had 13 carries, 46 yards. Receiving yards, we got Nico Collins, 8 receptions, 119 yards. And Parker Washington had 6 receptions, 103 yards with one touchdown. And the Texans, they won that game 23-20 against the Jaguars. Come on, Jaguars, pull through. Next game we have is the Colts and the Patriots. Colts at 25, Patriots at 24. Anthony Richardson was passing yards was 12 for 24, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Drake May was 24 for 30, 238 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Rushing yards, we got Jonathan Taylor, 25 carries, 96 yards. Ramondre Stevenson, he had 18 carries, 73 yards. And receiving yards, we got Michael Pittman Jr., 5 receptions, 42 yards. And Hunter Henry, 7 receptions, 75 yards. And the Colts won by 1 point against the Patriots, 25-24. Next game we have is the Chargers and the Falcons. Chargers and the Falcons. Chargers at 17, Falcons at 13. And 1 second, guys. I apologize. So passing yards, we got Josh Herbert, 16 for 23, 147 yards. Kirk Cousins was 24 for 39, 245 yards with 4 interceptions. Jeez. Rushing yards, we got Gus Edwards, 6 carries, 32 yards. Bijan Robinson was 26 carries, 102 yards with 1 touchdown. Receiving yards, we have Ladd McConkey, 9 receptions, 117 yards. And Ray McLeod III had 4 receptions and 95 yards. And the Chargers won again, like I said, 17-13. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie, the Falcons really are impressing me, even though they lost that game, because I always thought they were not that good. But they coming out pretty better than I thought. But yeah, the Chargers won that game. Next we have is the Seahawks and the Jets. Seahawks at 26 and the Jets at 21. Passing yards, we got Geno Smith was 20 for 31, 206 yards with 1 touchdown. Aaron Rodgers was 21 for 39, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing yards, we have Kenneth Walker III, 16 carries, 49 yards. Bryce Hall was with 12 carries, 60 yards. Receiving yards, we got Jackson Smith Najabi. That's hard to pronounce. He had 4 receptions, 74 yards. And Devontae Adams had 5 receptions, 66 yards with 1 touchdown. And the Seahawks won 26-21 against the Jets. Next game we got is the Titans and the Commanders. Titans had 19 against the Commanders, who had 42. Jeez. Okay, passing yards, we got Will Levis, 18 for 37, 212 yards with 2 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels was 25 for 30, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns with 1 interception. Rushing yards, we got Tony Pollard, 8 carries, 35 yards. And Brian Robinson Jr., 16 carries, 103 yards with 1 touchdown. Receiving yards, we got Nick Westbrook. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. 3 receptions, 61 yards with 2 touchdowns. Terry McLaurin, he had 8 receptions, 73 yards with 2 touchdowns. And of course, the Titans lost to the Commanders, 19-42. Next game we have is the Steelers against the Bengals. This was a high scoring game. Steelers had 44, Bengals had 38. Passing yards, Russell Wilson was 29 for 38, 414 yards with 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Jeez. Joe Burrow was 28 for 38, 309 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing yards, we got Najee Harris, 16 carries, 75 yards with 1 touchdown. And Chase Brown, 12 carries, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Receiving yards, we got George Pickens, 3 receptions, 74 yards with 1 touchdown. And Jamar Chase had 6 receptions, 86 yards with 1 touchdown. And of course, the Steelers won 44-38. Next game we have is the Cardinals and the Vikings. Cardinals at 22, Vikings at 23. Passing yards, we got for Kyler Murray was 31 for 45, 260 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Sam Darnold, 21 for 31, 235 yards with 2 touchdowns. Rushing yards, we got James Conner, 17 carries, 68 yards. Sam Darnold was with 4 carries. Whoa. I was kind of confused. Like, what? Sam Darnold running the ball? But it does say Sam Darnold. I ain't watched this game, though. Sam Darnold had 4 carries with 22 yards. Receiving yards, we got Trey McBride, 12 receptions, 96 yards. And Justin Jeffries with 7 receptions and 99 yards. And, of course, the Cardinals lost to the Vikings, 22-23. Next game we got is the Rams and the Saints. Rams at 21, Saints at 14. Passing yards, we got Matt Stafford, 14 for 24, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. Derek Carr was 24 for 37, 184 yards with 1 touchdown. Rushing yards, we have Kyren Williams, 15 carries with 104 yards and 1 touchdown. Alvin Kamara had 23 carries with 112 yards. Receiving yards, we got Puka Nacua with 5 receptions, 56 yards and 1 touchdown. And Tyreek Hill had 5 receptions. Oh, I said Tyreek Hill, my fault. I apologize. Tyson Hill with the 5 receptions and 37 yards. And the Rams won 21-14 against the Saints. Next game, we got my boys, the Panthers and the Bucks. Bucks at 26, Panthers at 23. Even though we came up short, I was definitely satisfied because Bryce Young is looking more comfortable. was 21 for 33, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Bryce Young, shout out to my boy, 26 for 46, 298 yards, and 1 touchdown. Rushing yards, we got Bucky Irvin, 25 carries, 152 yards with 1 touchdown. Chuba Hubbard at 12 carries, 43 yards. Mike Evans at 8 receptions, 118 yards with 1 touchdown. Adam Thielen at 8 receptions, 99 yards with 1 touchdown. And of course, we lost by 3, 26-23 against the Bucs. Panthers and the Bucs. Next game we have is the Eagles and the Ravens. Eagles at 24, Ravens at 19. Jalen Hurts, passing yards, he was 11 for 19, 118 yards with 1 touchdown. Lamar Jackson was 23 for 36, 237 yards with 2 touchdowns. Rushing yards, we have Saquon Barkley with 23 carries, 107 yards with 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry had 19 carries with 82 yards. Sorry about that if y'all guys hear that in the back. Receiving yards, we got A.J. Brown with 5 receptions, 66 yards, and Zay Flowers had 3 receptions, 74 yards. And the Eagles won 24-19. Next game we have is the 49ers and the Bills. 49ers at 10, Bills at 35. Yep, Bills and the Vikings are going crazy. I don't believe in Pat Mahomes' team, even though I know he's like the next, I guess you can say, Tom Brady in the league, because whatever. But nobody's compared to Tom Brady, but you know what I mean. But yeah, San Francisco at 10, the Bills at 35. Passing yards, Brock Purdy 11 for 18, 94 yards. Josh Allen was 13 for 17, 148 yards with 2 touchdowns. Rushing yards, we got Jordan Mason, 13 carries with 78 yards. James Cook had 14 carries, 107 yards with 1 touchdown. Receiving yards, we got Juwan Jennings, 3 receptions, 56 yards. And Dawson Knox had 2 receptions of 56 yards. And San Francisco lost to the Bills, of course. They had 10 and the Bills had 35. Next game we have is Browns and the Broncos. Broncos actually looking pretty sweet, dude. Browns at 32, Broncos at 41. Passing yards, we got Jameis Wilson, 34-58, 497 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Bo Nix was 18 for 35, 294 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Rushing yards, Jerome Ford had 9 carries, 41 yards. And Jaleel McLaughlin had 14 carries, 84 yards. Receiving yards, we got Jerry Jeudy, 9 receptions, 235 yards with 1 touchdown. Marvin Mims Jr. had 3 receptions, 105 yards with 1 touchdown. And the Browns lost to the Broncos. Browns at 32, Broncos at 41. And unfortunately, that's all for week 13. Yeah, I did want to say I'm like in the process of moving, so like I really apologize for this late upload, but like I said before, we're keeping it pushing. We're gonna keep going with everything, and I do want to say thank you for the support. You know, I gotta always say that. And positive